And just looking back on some of the things that I mentioned, and in pursuing a goal such as this, me pursuing to do a marathon, these are not things that, I see people in my family or even just my immediate circle do. And I feel like if you want to put yourself in a position, to get much farther than what you've been brought up to know and understand, what you've seen in your surroundings, and a goal like that is going to require you to do things you've never seen or done before. And I feel like you can continue to repeat that process. Like it can be a very tiered system, a very tiered way to see progression in your own life. And I believe this can apply to anything. Right now, I'm just applying it to the purposes of running a marathon. But let's say I finished a marathon and I set an even higher goal. Let's say, not that I'm going to do this, but the next step being a half Ironman race, which involves, cycling, running, and swimming. A much more demanding task. It's going to require me to do much more than I did training for the marathon. It's going to require so much more thinking, so much more training, so much more preparation. And it'll cause all these other areas in my life to have to be better to meet this task. And in kind of switching the narrative, I think, this goal can be applied to anything. It can be applied to saving money. It can be applied to, wanting to get a promotion, wanting to get a better job. Once you set these goals, you're going to look for ways to, add things to your life, meet people. You're going to look for so many different type of ways to think about how you can even get yourself within a reaching grasp of that goal, right? And I think that in of itself is a huge benefit. Let's say I never, I DNF the marathon. I do not finish. Obviously, finishing would be, the best result of, everything that I've done to prepare. But even if you don't finish, I think you still have to look at, just how changed of a person you are, having even attempted. Even to attempt is to suggest that you've grown into a different person. You've grown past who you used to be. Even an attempt, is better than not setting the goal.